To ready CNBC TV 18 Ebix Cash Studio.
Hello and welcome to Bazaar Morning Call from the CNBC TV 18 Ebix Cash Studios. I'm Prashant Nair. With me, my colleagues Sonia Shenoy and Surabhi Upadhyay. Guys, good morning. Have to say that things are looking pretty good on the whole, especially on the global scene, which is what I want to start with. I had highlighted yesterday that the dollar had failed to rally despite a good jobs report on Friday. And guess what? It fell some more last night. The dollar index was down 1/3%. That's not huge, but it's not going up. It's going down. That's essentially the point to note. It's now around the 94 area. So, what's the impact? While the big US indices, if you look at the S&P or you look at the NASDAQ, they were absolutely flat. There was churn beneath the surface. The entire material space did very well. And specifically, the pack which did the best is the metals and mining pack. That market group was up 3.5% on Wall Street overnight. I'm kind of linking that to what happened to the dollar. Naturally, watch out for the metals pack here too. It has kind of struggled to find direction. Steel more as compared to non-steel lately over the last 1.5 months or so. The other one is oil, which is seeing a rebound. So you look at what happened to Brent oil prices, another 1%. ONGC and maybe other oil stocks as well are things to watch. ONGC specifically may be the cheapest E&P stock in the world, exploration and production company in the world, valuation-wise. It's hugely underperformed oil prices. At oil above 80 and gas prices around the $6 barrel mark, ONGC can do earnings of about 40 odd rupees, which means that it's trading at under 4 times earnings. I'm not saying that, it's essentially going to be on fire today, but that's one particular market group to watch out for. Anyway, on the indices, the market rallied nicely from the lows. The Nifty 1.3, the Bank Nifty about 1.5% yesterday. This is from the lows. And the old economy, so-called cyclicals, did very well. So you look at PSU banks, you look at government companies, energy stocks like oil, for example. Cement came back into rotation. And I pretty much think that is the pack to focus on as we come into a new session as well. Sonia, hi.
Hi, good morning, Prashant. Good morning, Surabhi. So, it seems like the bulls are back, as you said. If you look at a lot of the internal data, there is an indication that there's large amount of buying from domestic institutions in large caps, and that's always a good thing. Yesterday as well, you had a big chunk of buying, it was 1,900 crores from DIIs, and put together in November so far, in the first 10 days, domestic institutions have bought 2,300 crores. And particularly for yesterday, I was looking at some stats. There was large buying in the bluest of blue chip names. So whether it's HDFC Bank, there was 1,200 crores of delivery buying there. Whether it was Reliance Industries, there was almost 1,700 crores of delivery buying there. So the domestic fraternity is piling up on blue chip names, which is of course a great sign that perhaps after a bit of consolidation, this market could see its next leg up. The sector in focus for me today could be life insurance companies, the private life insurers. The data has not been spectacular, but the moot point is that the private life insurers have done better than the state-owned guys. So, you just keep an eye out on a lot of these names, SBI Life, you have HDFC Life, etc. And the premium growth for private life insurers has been 23% overall on a year-on-year basis. So that's one important statistic to look at. But lots to talk about. It has clearly belonged to the large caps. So perhaps, that's something that could be in focus.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Morning, guys. As Prashant was pointing out, the global setup is so overwhelmingly positive after the Fed meet and the way the markets kind of digested the whole news announcement. So, by the way, today, you'll have inflation data out of the US, CPI numbers, and then you'll have the wholesale numbers. But it's not even much of a bother because now the timelines are set in terms of the taper and the market's taken it rather well. The other thing that boosted sentiment on Wall Street was this infrastructure bill. So, it's just sort of largely green. And then if you're looking at the earnings season, which is now winding down, out of the S&P 500, the 445 companies that have reported, according to estimations, 81% have beaten earnings estimates. So that's a rather tall number. So good setup in terms of the mother market. Back for us here, I was thinking, the earnings season is winding down. What are the two realities the market has had to sort of deal with, and therefore this consolidation? One, the margin pain. It showed up in every number, including yesterday's example was Britannia. The other is the MFI pain, and that whether we talk about Ujjivan or we talk about Bandhan, it's very, very evident in a lot of these sort of stocks. So the question for me is the buy on dips texture back? We were in a sell on rally zone for the last 2 to 3 weeks, but is the buy on dips back? That's what the market did yesterday, having factored in the Q2 reality. Now it's all in hindsight. Looking forward, is the market going to be willing to once again move to the all-time highs? We'll see. Of course, the FII selling is a pressure point, as Sonia pointed out. But the sentiment seems to have turned around. So I guess that's largely positive backdrop against which we start the day off, Sonia.
Absolutely. And I know our first love is equities, but one quick mention on what's happening in the world of cryptocurrencies, right? Ethereum is at a fresh all-time high. It's the second largest digital coin. It's hit $4,700, and Bitcoin has now surged past $66,000. So huge moves in the world of crypto.
On that, as our colleagues in Delhi have been reporting, in the winter session, apparently, there will be some form of a crypto bill in India. I'm really curious to see what happens. But I guess, Prashant, here as well, I mean, the market has become so liquid and there is so much money at stake that I don't know if governments and central bankers can do anything drastic now. I mean, then it's a question of it's all connected, right? The domino effect.
I mean, in a way, the horse is out of the stable in that sense.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, so it's kind of now, whatever you do, and I think there was some talk in terms of the bill here, there's going to be a modified bill as compared to what was being proposed earlier. So maybe it's going to be more lenient, more accepting broadly. I mean, we don't know the exact contours, we'll just have to wait.
And, the word DeFi, right? Decentralized finance is being talked about a lot across the US as well. So not just in India, but globally too, the entire crypto world is picking up pace, definitely. We'll focus on that in greater detail. For now, let's look at the equity markets. The SGX Nifty indicating that it's starting mildly in the red. But first up, we have a lot of cues coming in for you, a lot of views as well. Mahesh Nandurkar of Jefferies says, September 2021 shareholding analysis shows that foreign portfolio investors sold financials to buy IT, staples and property during Q3 of CY21. Domestic mutual funds added financials, cutting energy, healthcare and telecom. Even now, institutional portfolio exposure to their favorite property sectors over 1%. Stocks in which institutional investors are underweight and they like are Tata Motors, Reliance and Infosys. Retail investor activity stayed high but shifted from direct stocks to mutual funds.
Okay, let's get you some money market views. Bhaskar Panda of HDFC Bank says in the Indian currency market, supply got boosted by inflows due to a spate of public equity issuances. High oil prices remain a big bother. Given this backdrop, USD INR pair might trade in an intraday range between 73.90 to 74.10 for the day.
And on the bonds, Bhaskar Panda says that benchmark yields have come down from recent highs. The 10-year benchmark yield could trade within 6.3 to 6.35% for the time being.